Hi, everybody! This week on the Pocket Dimension Live, we attempt to port our characters from the Shadows cast in Embertide to D&D 5th Edition. Easy as pie or total dumpster fire? Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Pocket Dimension Live. This is a show where four friends, sometimes five, sometimes so many more, talk about all things TTRPG. I'm Matt.
I'm Fitz.
I knew that was happening.
Well-oiled machine.
Oh, bless your heart. I'm Evan, and today we are also joined by our good friend Seth, the DM, Seth McKay. Hey, thanks for joining us, Seth.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Excited to be back.
Yeah, hell yeah. And of course, AK is not with us today. She is on a road trip. I think she's chilling in the chat, though. So be sure to say shout out. Yeah, I think she's chilling in
the chat. Yes, we have a fun show today, I believe. I think we always have a fun show, but today's really fun because we're gonna like we've made these beloved DC20 characters that have given us so much enjoyment and fun, and then we're gonna say like, okay, so what happened if you love the character so much? How can we bring it over to the 5e time? But before that,
wait, if you love that so much, how can you make it so that you don't love it?
Well, no, if you want to play, if your friend is like, tonight's 5e or bust,
or bust. Okay. All right.
Remember, I understand what I'm saying in my head, but when it gets out here, it turns into something else. But
I'll help interpret.
Thank you, please do. You've been my lifetime translator. But before that, Fitz, you have some FAF topics, do you?
I do. So we've got. It's good to just let you guys know what we got going on, what we got coming up, because December is a wild and crazy month for everybody. So next week we are actually going to take these level 1 characters that we're building in 5e, and we're going to pit them against the Mutants of Rage. The raccoon band from our 1-shot, 2-shot, just to see what happens.
Yeah.
So that's on the 15th. That's next week. The 22nd, Matt and AK are going to host a holiday extravaganza with little bits and segments and fun from all of the pockets within our greater pocket dimension. But then we're going to be dark on the 29th. So at that point, everybody, go back and watch part 1 and part 2 if you haven't seen the whole thing. Maybe bake some cookies, do something festive, and we'll see you guys in the new year.
We have a lot of stuff for the new year, so definitely come back. We're not saying goodbye. But share the cookies. Someday I would like to have a cookie swap with all of you guys.
Ooh. Yeah. Cookie swaps. Yeah, cookie swab.
What would you bring to the cookie swap?
Cookie swap?
Cookie swap. Yeah.
What would you bring?
What would you bring?
What would I bring?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, Lindsay makes these amazing chocolate chip mango. Sometimes it's mango, sometimes it's cranberry cookie with like some salt, and it's
yum.
You haven't sold me on this.
What?
I trust you. You say it's delicious, and we share pretty similar palates, so I think I'd like it. But chocolate mango?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know,
I can
man.
see it.
I don't know.
See it.
Mm-hmm. It's a delight. It's a delight.
Okay. Yeah. Seth, what are you bringing?
Oh man, we've recently been making these chocolate chip cookies. They're like this big.
Okay.
And they have salt on top. Basically what Matt's bringing, just without the mango.
Okay.
It sounds like.
We have to change it
Okay.
to a chocolate chip party. Fits?
Mhm.
Oh, I'm gonna bring. My grandma used to make these little things called snowballs, where
Okay.
like the base is. I mean, everybody's bringing chocolate chip, but it's like at its core, it's like a very dry chocolate chip cookie, so it sort of crumbles when you take a bite into it. But you roll it in powdered sugar, so it looks like a little snowball,
Oh, wow.
and they just
Ooh.
sort of crumble when you take a bite into it.
Okay,
Oh,
all
it
right.
bounds. I love that.
Okay.
And then brother.
I would do well. You've got chocolate chips, just my standard
Mm-hmm.
cookie, but that seems to be covered. So I'm going to pivot and go for a. They've got a couple different names. We grew up knowing it as the 7-layer bar or cookie. Our aunt used to make those, and but at least my wife calls them something different. It's like
magic or
magic bars. That's what they call them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But people know what I'm talking about, right? You know what I'm talking about?
Oh.
No?
What are you talking about?
Man.
Go.
7 layers of goodness. It's like, and I don't even know. Let's count the layers. Chocolate chips, for sure.
Okay.
Coconut is another layer. I think there's a butterscotch chip. Probably just cookie material.
Cookie material.
Condensed milk. That's a layer.
That's a layer?
I think so.
Okay, condensed milk.
Is there any peanut butter in there?
I think there could be. I
Maybe
don't
a peanut butter
remember.
in the form of another chip. It could be.
Okay. Sarah says
Anybody here in the
yes.
chat?
Yeah. Sarah says like condensed milk for sure. Thanks, Sarah.
Okay.
Yeah, Jax calls them magic cookie bars. Okay. Y'all
Okay,
hook us
Jax.
up with the greeds.
Jax, the horror show that is her recommendation of a cookie.
Oh yes. So that'll be a new layer.
No.
Yes.
No.
Oh, wow.
Can we just put that as a layer in our new magic?
It's the 8th layer of the world.
Immediate visceral reaction.
Amazing. Speaking of Jax and everybody, we got Galaxy Fox, we got Sarah. Who else is in the house? AK in the house. Tabletop Fiends.
Ding 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 ding.
What up?
Oh,
Michelle,
okay,
Kai.
and
Sarah Brock
Mike.
Rhodes. Sarah Brock Rhodes.
Sarah Brock Rhodes.
Gives a piece up. Gives piece.
Guys, thank you so much for joining us on this day. We've got a little extra special treat for you and a surprise for Seth. Matt and Fitz know what's about to happen. Seth has no idea.
Yes.
Are you guys ready?
Oh,
Everybody ready?
I'm
We're
ready.
so ready. Hold on. Except for me, who's trying to learn how to use this. Are we ready? If you don't even want to announce it, I'm just going to roll this.
No, I'm going to say it. So right now, we're going to do something new, something we haven't done before. We're going to play a game that I like to call Pit or Pit Fiend.
It always has to be an explosion. It always
always.
has
Everyone.
Explosion and slightly unhinged.
Amazing.
We're explosivo, you guys. Okay.
Greatest of surprises.
So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to read you some quotes, some lines from popular movies.
Yes.
And you're going to tell me if this is a quote from Brad Pitt or is it a quote from some devilish or demonic character in any movie? Doesn't, you may not know. Maybe you'll recognize the line, maybe you won't. Maybe you'll know, who the actor is. That's not really important. Is it Brad Pitt or is it a pit fiend? Is it a devil or a demon? That's all you got to know. Okay. We're going to keep score. We're going to start. We'll just start top to bottom. Yes, brother, you have a question.
So there's already out of the gate a possibility of a trick question, right?
What do you mean?
Right, because there's one Brad Pitt movie where it's both Brad Pitt and he's a devil, right? Joe Black.
Oh, I don't think he's a devil in that. Spoilers for people who haven't seen Meet Joe Black.
Oh, I thought he was. Okay, never mind then. Never mind then.
Are we
we'll go and
buzzing
spoil
in?
that.
Or...
No, we'll just go. I'm just going to go top to bottom, and we'll start with Matt, and we'll give him one, and then we'll just repeat. Okay.
I'm ready.
So we're going to start. We'll start. We'll start off. I was going to give you an easy one to start, but I'll save that one. Okay.
Okay.
So let's see. Here we go. Your first quote.
Yes.
I followed all the rules, man's and God's, and you followed none of them, and they all loved you more.
I'm going to say that is a Pit Fiend quote. And
Interesting.
I want to say possibly from Good Omens.
That's
Oh, wow.
yeah.
Wow.
I was gonna clock that too. Yep.
Do I get
That is
extra credit?
You would if you were correct, but you
Oh, damn it!
We need
That's not
we need
Good
a buzzer.
Omens.
We need a buzzer sound here. We need a buzzer
Oh my
sound.
god.
And yeah, while you're at it, dial up a fancy "you got it right" sound. No,
There it is.
do you want,
Okay.
That is the character Tristan Ludlow from the film Legends of the Fall,
What?
portrayed by Brad Pitt.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Oh.
Fitz, you're up.
Keep
So
going.
that gets 0 points on the board. Fitz, you're up next.
This is hard face.
Okay.
This is hard.
Every
Already.
wolf suffers fleas. 'Tis easy enough to scratch. Pit or Pit Fiend?
Say it again.
Every wolf suffers fleas. 'Tis easy enough to scratch.
I don't know. I'm gonna say Pit Fiend.
All right, yay!
Yay!
Yay! 1 point on the board.
I had to
do you
go
want
with
take a
fleas.
wild guess of-
There it is. There we go. Okay. Stop.
Fleas
Okay,
being
now you can
devilish.
stop.
What is that from?
That is from the film Legend. The character is Darkness, portrayed by the one and only Tim Curry.
Ooh.
Okay, so brother,
Darkness.
put 1 point on the.
I'm going
on the
to.
board for
Okay.
Fitz.
Yes. Thank you.
And Seth, are you ready?
I am ready.
Okay. Here we go. Revenge is never a straight line. It's a forest, and like a forest, it's easy to lose your way.
It's Brad Pitt.
Ding 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 ding
Oh!
ding 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 ding. Extra credit. Can you name that film?
It's not this film, but I'm gonna say Troy because that's the only Brad Pitt film I can think of right now.
It's not Troy. That is the character Rusty from Ocean's 11.
Oh my gosh.
Ah,
Okay.
okay.
Let's see. So we're back to the top. So that was 0 for Seth. Sorry, Matt. Here we come. You ready?
I'm so ready.
Okay. Here we go. What do I got? Some religions think that the egg is the symbol of the soul. Did you know that?
Oh my gosh. Brad Pitt.
Unfortunately,
Oh.
no. This is in fact a Pit Fiend. This is Louis Cipher, portrayed by Robert De Niro in the film Angel Heart.
Oh, damn it! I love
One of the greatest Pit Fiends of all time.
Oh, Pit Fiend.
Okay. It's 1 to zip.
You're
Does
really
that
good
not
at this,
have one?
brother.
What? What'd you say, Fitz?
Does Seth not have a point? Didn't you guess Brad Pitt?
Yeah, I think I
you
canceled
did.
my point out.
You did.
Okay,
You
so
just didn't get the
sorry.
movie right.
Nope.
You got the movie wrong, and my brain
that
said
was
that
close.
was it. So
That was
no,
close.
that doesn't count. Put a
Okay.
point on the board for Seth, please.
Right.
It was up
Right.
there.
Okay,
Oh my
Fitz,
gosh.
are you
Oh my
ready?
No, I've clearly not seen a lot of Brad Pitt movies.
Okay. Well, let's see. What do I got for you?
Yeah,
I've
okay.
got. Okay, here we go. I'm fireproof. You're not.
I don't know what this is from. I've clearly not seen enough Brad Pitt movies, but I feel like the obvious answer is Pit Fiend, so I'm gonna go Brad Pitt.
Unfortunately, no, not that Pitt. This is a quote from the film Hellboy, portrayed by the one and only. Oh my gosh, I forgot his name. Ron Perlman.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing.
All right. Okay.
Stop, everybody.
And Seth, are you ready?
I'm ready. Here we go.
I got one just for you. War is young men dying and old men talking.
Brad Pitt from Troy.
Ding, 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 ding.
Whoa! What?
Yeah, I mean, I maybe that you need extra credit points because you did nail the movie as well. Okay, everybody.
Okay.
One more round?
Yeah, one more round.
I gotta get 1
Bro,
point.
Let's get you on the board here. Let's get
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I'm
I can
gonna
do
give you
this.
this one here. Are you ready? What's in the box?
Oh, thank goodness. That is definitely Brad Pitt, and the movie is 7.
Okay.
The only chance I was ever going to get it was if it was 7 or Titanic. Anything else is...
Titanic.
Titanic?
I don't think Brad Pitt's in Titanic.
That was Leonardo DiCaprio! Oh my god! See, this is the heart of the problem.
Bless your heart.
no.
Bless my
All right.
heart of the ocean.
Bless your heart of the ocean.
Bless your
Amazing
heart.
inspiration for that.
Thank you.
Okay, Fitz, are you ready? This is your
No.
last and final chance.
Okay.
Seth is pulled out in front, and you and Matt are trailing just by one. Here's your chance to tie. Are
Okay.
you ready to go? Okay.
No,
here
but
it
ask.
is. I'm every nightmare you've ever had. I'm your worst dream come true.
It's got to be a Pit Fiend, right? Please? That's
Meow,
pretty
meow,
cool.
meow, 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 meow,
Okay,
meow.
okay.
Yay!
You want to take a stab? Just take a wild guess? Who is that?
What was the quote again? I was like, okay, what was it?
I'm every nightmare you've ever had. I am your worst dream come true. And I'll give you a little hint if you need an extra hint.
Okay. Give me a hint. Yeah.
Everyone down there floats.
Oh, it's from it.
But not
Idiot.
this
Not-
new school boring
Abomination.
it. The OG
Another-
Tim Curry.
Another
it.
Tim Curry.
A lot of Tim Curry on this list.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not-
He's the,
I mean, come on.
I'm not
oh,
mad
he's the
about
Brad
it.
Pitt. He's the only other actor to repeat on this list.
Oh,
Mm.
Okay. Seth,
okay.
this is it. This is your
Ooh,
last
here we
chance.
go.
You can clinch it or you can tie with Fitz. The fate is yours to decide. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Every breath you take is a mercy from me.
Oh, shit.
It's Brad Pitt in Fight Club.
Ooh. You're halfway correct. So you get on the board. Meow, 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 meow.
all right.
It's not Fight Club, though. Do you want to take another chance? What film
Every
could
breath
that
you
be?
take
And I'm going
is
to
a
open this up
mercy
to
from me.
I'm going to open this up to Matt and Fitz. Can you guess what film this is from? Every breath you take is a mercy from me. And if you're out there in the chat, shout it out. Do you know?
Mortal Bane.
I was going to say all I hear is what Mortal Bane typed in, which is the... I'll be
Ooh,
watching.
I'm going to go with AKs.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to go with
Yeah.
AKs
Oh,
and
12
say,
monkeys.
whoops, 12 months. Oh, Titanic.
Titanic. It's definitely from Titanic.
It's the iceberg telling those that survived.
Pretty sure it's not Thelma and Louise.
It's not Thelma and Louise. No. Okay. This is it, you guys.
I don't know.
What you
I
got?
think-
No.
Oh,
Fitz
I know
has
what it
nothing?
is. I know what it is.
What is it?
It's Scratch.
Go. Come.
Scratch.
No. Nope. Nothing for Matt. Seth, this is it.
All right,
Oh.
I'm stealing AK's 12 monkeys. Then.
12 Monkeys. It's not 12 Monkeys. This is the character Louis from Interview with the Vampire.
Oh.
Oh.
Brad Pitt has a pretty prolific career, as it turns out.
It
As
really
it turns out.
does. That's amazing. Well, I'm going to say that was the first, but not the last successful episode of
Playing.
that was
If you
fun.
do put in a Fight
was
Club
amazing.
one,
Yeah.
that I will recognize.
Okay.
So that's
I
got to
almost
make it to
did.
the next one.
They were a little too recognizable, to be
Yeah.
honest.
I believe.
Um,
It's a good movie. It's a good movie. Congratulations, Seth.
Did I win anything?
Great work.
Yeah, you win. You get to hang out with us and
You
also play games and also
Autographed copy of Brad Pitt's diary,
So-
his personal diary,
Personal diary.
And-
Hey.
Mhm, mhm.
a lock of his hair,
Yeah.
Wow.
his beard hair,
Not
not his
crazy.
head hair. He wouldn't allow that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Beard hair.
Don't worry,
Look,
I got
now-
his email. We're gonna. It's all
I
worked
just
out.
want to see Titanic with Brad Pitt in it now.
Yeah,
You
I do
It's
too.
the
With
remake we
AI.
didn't know we
Yeah.
needed.
You could probably do that now.
With AI, yeah, absolutely.
Ugh.
That was
All
fun.
right.
Good job. Rob.
Yeah, good work.
To be fair.
Good work, you guys.
Wow.
Brad Pitt and Leonardo
Amazing.
DiCaprio look the same to me, so sorry.
Yeah, don't say that to Lindsay Drexler.
Ooh.
She get mad, she'll get big mad.
she was
Well-
she was very big into Leo when she was younger.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh yeah, he's pretty dreamy too, brother. Why don't you bounce us on back to our
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yes,
regular
let's do that.
scene, and then who's Fitz? Are you taking us into the main event here?
Yes.
Sure.
Great.
Um,
It's party.
It's fun.
Matt's gonna be our MC, our controller of all that we compare. So before AK left, she and I did go through this process with Benni. So we can start with her, I guess, then, just to use an example of
Mhm.
what we're even going to try to accomplish here, which is taking the DC20 version of Benni that we all put together weeks ago together, and see if we can port her to a level 1 5e character. And I will say, in the process, it was interesting at what had to get left on the table. Because DC20 came with a lot of built-in flavor originally. And I think we're going to find that the 5e characters are a little
Sad?
sad. But that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah, that'd probably be a little, just
That's
a
okay.
little sad.
Wimpy.
A little
Feet.
weak.
So let's
Hefty,
get a
hefty.
peek into. So we did.
Okay, let's see if this works.
To give you an idea of the method we used for Benni, since Benni had been made with the standard array version of DC20, we stuck with that in D&D Beyond. And the rules of the game here are that we had to use what's available on D&D Beyond, no homebrew stuff, and just see how it goes. Because Coach does have a Scion 5e homebrew class, which would have been an easier port. But we just wanted to see, like, if you were recreating this at home and you only had a D&D Beyond account,
Yeah.
could you do it?
No homebrew for you.
No homebrew for
What
you.
you gonna do?
What you
No
gonna do?
homebrew for you. No homebrew for you. Yeah, that I get it. Yeah, that's fun.
Cheeseburger.
Do you want to, let's see, is there a way to
Are
see
we
them
ready?
like side by side maybe?
I think I can do something to that effect. All right, so let's. Yeesh. And then we're gonna bring in Benni and the. Okay.
Tingle.
Benny Tingle.
Tingle.
over here.
Any
baby.
tingle, she ain't got a dingle dangly face.
That's exactly right. Yes, AK.
I'm working on your theme
If
song.
New anthem.
you want to add anything, since you're in the chat, let us know if you
I
want to
know. Yeah,
pop
please.
in as we're talking about your character to you.
Yes.
I'm not sure what the best way to
Yeah, what do
kind
you
of go
need?
through this is. Maybe we could go through the manager, through the builder, and just like talk.
Okay.
Does that
Sure,
make sense?
let's do
you
that.
guys? I
Yeah.
don't know.
And they're
Like that.
responsive. And there's I never know what to do with the D&D Beyond responsive view.
Hmm.
I always get lost. I never
It's a
know
little-
where anything.
It's a little wonky. Yeah.
It's not the anyway. Okay, so this is nice. So we've
Yeah,
got
so
the
just
5e.
go ahead and click into race because
Let's do
it's
it.
nothing but just choosing stuff.
Okay,
There
sweet.
we go. So, first of all,
Ooh.
this was where we realized we were going to have some problems immediately because the gnome for DC20 and the gnome in the gnome sub races, what's available on 5e, didn't really line up. So, in this case, AK went with the one that just felt the most generally right. For Benni based on her attitude, where she might be from, that sort of thing. So we had to leave behind Squirmy and Magnified Vision and Mental Clarity. which is DC20 stuff. And instead, she got minor illusion. She can talk to small animals. She has dark vision instead of magnifying vision. So I guess that's more one-to-one. And then we did have to use the option manager, to swap out basically everything. So we swapped out her +2 intelligence for charisma. We swapped out her +1 dex for constitution, and we chose primordial language as an add-on. Yeah, as AK said, this screen may have scrambled my brain. Immediately, we went in and we're like, this is going to be so easy. Clicked on gnome. We're like, this is not working out.
Oh, no. Yeah.
But I think we got somewhere in the end. As we progressed, we were able to make up some of the other things. So when we went to class...
Wait. Before you go on...
Yeah.
I mean, maybe this is too long of a question to answer, but since I wasn't playing a gnome, I wasn't making a gnome character... I didn't realize that the gnome ancestry in DC20 was super different than what's available in 5e. Is it like, can you, other than those kind of things that you just listed out, was there anything, can you kind of TLDR it for us why the gnomes are so different, or is that even answerable?
I might know.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I just... I know that I think that DC20 is certainly an alpha, and then the lore, which we're all just starting to hear about. I have not heard anything quite yet, but apparently there are some teasings. So I'm assuming that Alan has, lore that very specifically speaks to the gnome's abilities. Is that what you were thinking too, Fitz?
Yeah, and I mean, candidly, so Ancestries has been on the table the past month or two in building them up sort of on the back end. And unfortunately, just because it is busy season for me, I have not been able to participate as much in that development. So I do know that there has been talk about the gnomes and their lore. I don't want to get any of it wrong, so I'm not going to just try to spew what I do remember, because also things have also changed. I've only been able to sort of tap in here and there, but I do think that the lore for gnomes, for sure, what I have heard and been able to sort of keep up with in DC20, the lore of gnomes and a lot of other races compared to the 5e version, sort of the standard Forgotten Realms, whatever, it's going to be quite different. And I will say, too, one of the things we need to keep in mind is, as we're going through all 4 of these characters, that we were given very early sneak peeks at possible options for Ancestries from Coach. Right. We started building these characters before the conversation really kicked off on his end, in the back end. So... Just one thing to call out is that as Ancestries in DC20 become available, you're going to be able to purchase different things that are in the broader category of that race. So for Gnome, it's not that maybe at some point you can get minor illusion like you can in 5e, whatever. It's just that when we were making these characters, Alan gave us just a pre-baked possible version, both of what he was initially thinking and things that we specifically asked for. So especially once we get into R0, Toby, and Chahd, there are going to be some options that for sure are not going to be available in DC20. They were just sort of little gifts from Alan. Yeah. So that is one thing to keep in mind. I think out of this entire port, probably the ancestry to race movement was the most, for lack of a better word, fuckeredly. So sorry if that doesn't totally answer your question, Evan.
That's okay. No, that was good. That was good. And I didn't want to bog things down here too much. I was just curious. So
yeah. I think it's just that his idea of the lore for certain ancestries is much different than what it is in sort of base level 5e. So yeah, okay. We'll see that flavor come out as the ancestries appear.
Flavor.
Okay.
All right.
Flavor.
Flavor.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And then let's see. So for her class, we'll we'll keep scooting along. For her class, she obviously chose Sorcerer because that felt the most, innate magic sort of thing. And she picked Aberrant Mind Origin, which gave her that telepathic speech and that unlocks her psionic spells.
Neat.
So if you're trying to play a scion of some sort, this is probably the route to go. So that was an easy decision. Let's see. And then since it's level 1, there's not a ton to choose. No, we haven't, gone too far down the rabbit hole. We did pick the additional sorcerer spells because I believe what was in there? There was something in there that we wanted Mind Sliver for her as an option. I don't remember if she took it or not, but there were a couple in higher levels you get like Bigby's Hand, telekinesis, things like that. So we did choose to give her those additional sorcerer spells. Which honestly, guys, if you're playing a spellcaster and you're building your character in D&D Beyond, just double check the optional feature manager. Always click the additional spells. Just give yourself some more things to choose from.
Yeah.
That buffet a little larger.
It just occurred to me that D&D is probably a source for like just an abundant amount of pretty good band names. Mind Sliver.
Mind Sliver.
Caustic Brew.
Caustic Brew.
Or
Fire Shield.
Love it.
Fire Sale.
Vampiric Touch.
Yeah.
Actually, that sounds more like a single than a band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Title.
AK's chiming in with, I can show this. I will say point for 5e. Feel like that she had a ton of spells to choose from at level 1, 2 of which came with the Aberrant Mind style. Yeah, sure.
All right. Sense. Yeah.
Yeah, well, we're gonna give 5e some points when deserved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little engine that could.
Yeah. Yeah, Watsy, the little engine that could. The brave little toaster.
The greatest role-playing game. Okay, so moving on.
Yeah, moving on. So really, I think where the interesting bits come in and it is going to be in the numbers game here, right? Yeah. Because if we look at the DC20 ability and skill layout, obviously we only have 4 sort of main abilities, and then 2, we have a physical and a mental save. So how do we translate that? And I think each of us are gonna have a slightly different answer. I know for Allison, she more thought of reconstructing her might and her more resilient abilities into constitution instead of strength. So if we look on her physical area right there, those phrasing was bad. Her might score is a 2, her physical save is a 3, and her agility is a -1. So what she did in choosing her standard array was she gave her constitution a boost, gave her strength a little bit of a nerf, and gave her dexterity the mega nerf.
Yeah.
So her lowest score is in that dexterity.
Another great band name.
Mega nerf.
Yeah. I get it. Wow, this is this is harder than I thought it was going to be. Looks like you guys really thought about it. You really had to do some
we tried. Tried. And then obviously charisma is easy. That was her highest score, so she made that technically her lowest, but because of what we chose for her race, whatever, it comes out equal with her constitution. And then her intelligence, we considered a 0 in DC20 to be mediocre, that sort of 10 in D&D, so that's why she has intelligence in 10. And then wisdom being kind of mental. Honestly, this one was more of a vibe. This was the number that we went with, the vibe, rather than what makes most sense.
Right.
Based on, how she had role played Benni and what her feelings were a few weeks in.
Right.
And then
I like it. Next.
Okay, great.
Description, obviously. Anything about that all makes sense.
This was the one that we ended up we ended up kind of noping out of. Rather than choosing a standard background, we did a custom one because really nothing fit.
Yeah.
We had a hard time getting her skills and trades to match up what she was proficient in. And it just felt like none of the backgrounds, their flavor, nothing really kind of fit with Benni personally. And then the ones that did fit gave her things that didn't really make sense. So in the end, we opted for just doing a custom background, which if you're going to do that, just talk to your DM about it.
Yeah.
If you have a cool DM, it's probably fine. So that's
What if you
how we
don't?
were. What if you don't? Then you know what? I don't know. Go to a different table or something.
Find new friends.
Find new friends.
Yeah.
Block and report your DM.
What you do is you get in touch with Seth the DM.
Hey,
That's exactly right.
Hey,
I got you.
you.
SethTheDM.com? Is that correct?
SethMcKay.com.
SethMcKay.com. SethMcKay.com.
SethMcKay.com.
So yeah, honestly, we didn't really figure out what this background was other than just we picked the skills and the tools that she wasn't able to pick up with her race or her class. So that kind of sucked, but it is what it is. Have duck busting.
No,
Doesn't make
unfortunately.
you feel good.
Fortunately.
Doesn't make you feel good.
With
Shame.
tear rolling down your face. Yeah.
But now let's get into the interesting part. So let's take a look at
Okay.
her full ass sheet now that we've kind of
Okay.
dug in a little bit here.
Let's do it. All right.
So interesting enough, though, I believe her armor class is the same as her physical defense. That was the one
Yeah.
thing
Wow.
that stuck.
That's interesting.
Interesting.
Uh-huh. So she does have
And-
a couple more hit points, but
Yeah, hit points aren't far off. That's
Huh.
interesting.
Cute.
mhm.
Now, for move speed in DC20, that's 20 feet in D&D parlance.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But she's got one extra space of movement,
Mhm.
Yeah.
which I will actually point out, I think all of us only had 4 movement speed, which I
Mhm.
think it's a little bit strange in DC20, given that Chahd and Toby were both pretty tall fellas.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Felt like they should get another space, perhaps, but
Yeah.
anyways.
Right.
Fellow DCites, what do y'all think about that? I
Well,
I agree. Like long legs. I mean, I
Mhm.
guess it goes back to that age old. Everyone is able. Everyone is possible. So you have to think of it more metaphorically. That just Benni has just because of her short legs, just knows how to run. Right?
Mhm.
Doesn't. So you could explain
Yeah.
it that way.
I mean, I will say, though, I actually do have an answer to this.
Oh.
Okay.
So
Okay.
going back to the ancestry system, in the way that you can buy certain traits, one of the things for the shorter statured or maybe slower moving, we don't want to be considered, we don't want it to be ableist or anything, but for maybe some of the shorter stature races, you will be able to buy a nerf to your movement to gain an extra point to buy something else.
Yes.
I'm not
Oh.
exactly sure which ones, but I'm going to hazard a guess that Gnome will be one of those where if you choose to take a 3 movement speed, you have an extra point that you can spend
I love that.
elsewhere.
Yeah, he
Alright,
did that in a
alright.
lot of the homebrew feats that he's put out. I've always loved
Yeah.
that. That is so fun.
And I will
think
say
one
that
of the. Sorry, go ahead.
oh, and just that already the monk did come with a +1 to movement speed, so I had a base of 5. And
Yeah.
with a gazelle stance, I could have 6. So there are
Yeah.
ways to manipulate movement in DC20. Go. What were you going to say, Seth?
I was just gonna say you also have the flexibility. You could spend all 4 action points, right, to
Mhm.
just have 16 movement if you
That's true.
Okay.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
wanted
yeah,
to,
yeah, yeah.
you know, kind of thing.
True. True.
Just more flexibility, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
What else?
So-
Are we ready to then try someone else's?
Yeah, I will just say that I want in comparison as we move to the others, because I'm excited to be surprised by Chahd and Toby because I have no idea what you guys got going on. But
Yeah.
as one, I think this one was probably in a good way. I don't know. I haven't seen it. I haven't taken a peek. I'm excited. But I think Benni's was one of the hardest ones. Like in comparison to my experience with what I did for R0, I almost got mine was close. Mine was very close.
Yes.
This one was tough. Getting the proficiencies to match up, what we had to do to tinker on the back end. This one was a little harder. Just as a overall.
Interesting. I was going to telegraph that Chahd was going to be the toughest. But we'll see.
Maybe we'll see. Oh, do we want to see what spells AK picked? Just
sure.
Just to show people what she picked, and then we'll move on.
Yeah.
Because she did have more spell options. That is the one thing with D&D 5e is that she just had more spells.
Where do they hide it?
Like the little 9 squares in the bottom right corner.
That's not bad actually. Okay.
So
Gust, Mage Hand, Mind Sliver. Arms of Hodor. Chaos Bolt, Charm Person, and Dissonance. Yeah.
And I know specifically she chose Mage Hand and Gust as a way to get around not having telekinesis. So that was her.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's
I want to see somebody else's hard work.
Yeah.
Come on.
And I'll also say the tabletop chimes in to say that he believes that there is a -1 speed for gnomes and halflings in DC20.
Interesting.
We will.
So that might have changed since we.
Yeah, that must be newerish because. Yeah.
Because newerish. Who wants to go next?
Chahd.
Okay. All right. So here we go. Bing, bing, bing. And then I'm going to.
Yeah, the Warlord was very interesting to port over to 5e. Yeah. And there was a clear. I was able to find.
This is the level 3 one. You want to do the level 3 one, or do you want to do level 1?
So I guess I'll make that y'all's call because 1-to-1 is very different. I was able to find kind of comparable things in the Warlord for most everything at level 3. So it took all the way to level 3 to find kind of all of the little tricks that the Warlord had.
Yes.
Let's do. Why don't we do your level 1 just to input the numbers, and then let's.
Okay.
But not spend too much time on it, and then we'll pop up to 3.
Yeah. So I kind of put everything in there. I just put 10 across the board on the numbers. So I guess
this is an interesting choice.
Yes. So that was. Let me pull up my little cheat sheet here because I had a 1-to-1 kind of. DC20 versus 5e. Obviously, we had the Beastborn Gorilla that Coach built for us. And the Orc actually seemed to have a lot of the most comparable to in 5e. There's not really any sort of gorilla race that I could find for within an actual Wizard of the Coast content on D&D Beyond. But the Orc actually has an ability called Powerful Build, which is exactly the same as the powerful build that the Beastborn had.
Okay, cool.
And then Coach also gave me an ability called Rush with the Beastborn Gorilla, where I could, when I moved towards an enemy, I could spend SP to give myself temp HP. The closest thing I could find for that in race in 5e was aggressive. The Orc could just move as a bonus action towards an enemy. So no buff there, but had the same sort of movement.
Yeah.
Added movement. The one thing missing between Ancestry of Beastborn and Orc as a race was the climb speed. So you could go Tabaxi, or I think there are a few other races that have climb speeds. But the Orc really fit all of that. I think there's also, I'm repeating the powerful build thing, is basically you act as a large creature, but you're medium sized.
Oh, okay.
So that applied to both the gorilla and the Orc.
Right.
So that that I thought was pretty decent. I mean,
Yeah.
outside of the rush ability Coach built, which is super rad, and I found some options at that 3rd level character that would kind of give me something like that. Because really the way I approached it was just trying to fit every little mechanic that the Warlord had and find a solution for it, or a comparable solution. So
Sure. Okay.
Did you get to use? You did get to use the rush maneuver, and
I did in our first in episode 1.
okay,
Okay.
yeah.
I believe.
And follow-up question: when you used it, did either Tom Sawyer or YYZ, did any of those songs play through your mind as like your own personal
Little Xanadu
anthem in the background as you were kicking ass?
Xanadu.
Yeah, hell yes. Why not? Yeah, kind of like lyrical and
Yeah.
Yes.
I love it.
Good,
100%.
good. I'm glad. Personally, I would have gone for Bytor and the Snow Dog, but
That one, I don't know.
Bytor
I'm ashamed.
and the Snow Dog.
Yeah.
Now I'm sad I don't know it.
Evan has
Oh,
an encyclopedic knowledge of 80s metal and 70s and
that's-
90s because you were a drummer
Metal.
in a karaoke metal band for a while.
Yes,
Wow.
a bad one, but I did. Rush.
No.
We didn't play any Rush, unfortunately,
Great.
and thank God because I could not hang. Oh my God, no way.
Yeah.
No
So good.
way.
Trogdor.
Trogdor.
Oh my God.
Trogdor.
The Burninator!
Trogdor.
Yeah, it did. Thank you, Ryan.
Yes.
I'll take that as a compliment.
Incredible.
Okay, sorry, Seth,
Okay.
for derailing.
Yes, fantastic.
What's next? What's next?
We've got a fighter.
Yeah, so level 1
That's-
fighter?
Yeah.
Sorry, what were you saying, Matt?
I was just gonna say it's the like the Scion. You're gonna find trickiness in going from Warlord to 5e
Yeah.
because
For
there's
sure.
bard-like
There was-
things, but
Yeah, I explored a few different ones, and the Battle Master fighter at 3rd level is really the most direct comparison. But for sure, you have those bard things like inspiration, almost. I guess, and I even tried to kind of work in some of the mechanics that aren't specific to Warlord, like parry and stuff. You know, you really only get that with like a Battle Master fighter. I'm sure there are other classes that have similar things, but that seems pretty tied closely to the fighter style. That's the fighting style of a fighter, not necessarily Battle Master. But yeah, so 1st level, you get 1 attack.
Oh,
You get
Yeah, that's so disappointing.
as a fighter, that's criminal. It's just
know.
silly. It's absolutely silly. Even at level 1, it's in the name.
100%.
Boo, I say.
Mhm.
And beyond that, really, you get some proficiencies. So I was able to with background, class, and race, I was able to get most of my proficiencies lined up between the two. But when you go into fighter abilities, you get a few proficiencies. You get a fighting style, which I chose protection, which would be the equivalent to parry.
Yep.
So you can get
I was going to choose hamster style.
hamster style. Now I want to see that. Do you just roll around?
Yes.
Hamster style.
Roll around and nibble.
All right.
Chew through your enemies.
That's Orgasmo, right? This.
Ooh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If you haven't seen the film Orgasmo, treat yourself.
Treat yourself.
It sounds fun.
Yeah.
From the
It's
minds
ready.
of the South Park fellas.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go for it.
Matt and Trey. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, this is I get it. Fighting style protection, that feels good, especially the way that you played, Chad.
Yeah, which I didn't even ever parry because I didn't even realize it was something I could do.
I know.
Kind of like
Yeah.
Pete was saying last
Me
week,
neither.
building that playbook and sort of, not getting overwhelmed by everything outside of it. But
Yeah.
that would be the the 1-to-1 of parrying, and then you get second wind.
Yep.
Which was kind of like the rush. The rush ability, getting temp HP, but getting a little bit of heals, non-magical heals, as But that's it.
Feels and feels.
That's what you get.
Yeah,
At level 1. There's nothing. Commander's Call, no heroic taunting, none of the like juicy stuff that was so fun to play.
Yeah,
Commander's Call, man, that was
Commander's Call.
You wrung every drop of goodness out of that.
I tried to.
So cool.
Now, what is Chahd gonna be without Commander's Call? Honestly, you need like
it's kind of a.
Yes.
Yeah,
I guess it's like you have to
multi-class into Bard and have some kind of charismatic bardic inspiration or something. Right.
Yeah.
Because even inspiring leader though, that doesn't translate. That just gives you extra hit points.
Yeah, which there is. That was actually one thing. He has inspiring presence where he can heal people, and that was kind of the feat. I was like, oh, I would need to take a feat inspiring leader to get something similar to that. I also had bait and switch as an option.
Yeah.
To like, buff someone's AC instead of like healing them. But we've mentioned this before, but if people are just joining us, first off, thanks for joining us, everybody. This is really great. I'm glad. I hope you're having fun doing this as much as we are. But I will say that if you were a follower of the Dungeon Coach's 5e homebrew, and you have books like Alcanzar, the Almanac.
The Almanac. Wow, I just suddenly couldn't say that word. A lot of these things he does kind of wrap in, which is really cool. And his concepts of the multi-classing are really neat, where you can kind of grab some of the things that you needed. But for this, we really wanted to be as raw 5e as we could. Like, so that's why we're missing some stuff. But
we just wanted to see how it would work. Well, we're gonna now. We need to choose some.
Yeah, some stats.
Some stats.
I say Alzkazers.
Alcanders?
Yeah.
Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, for the sake of simplicity, do we want to stick with the standard array?
Yeah, either standard. So what we were thinking was, because when we were building these characters, AK did the standard array for DC20, Evan did point by, and then Seth and I, we rolled. But I think to keep the port as close to the original as possible, I think either standard array or point by, whichever one you're more comfy with, just so we can try to match.
Yeah.
I think let's go with standard array, and I'll just dump some stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
Dump it.
Charles wants to add an almanac book to. Yes, me too. Like the Omen. Yeah.
Almanac.
Yes. Oh no. Okay. All right. So
old timers almanac of all cryptids.
So you said. Did you say pump warrior or standard array? I was distracted by funny.
Let's do standard array.
Okay, great. Yes. So. What you got?
So his might is 3 is the top. So, and that's also why I chose orc, or why orc worked, because got +2 to strength for orc. So let's just max that out for now.
Yes.
And then I also have 2 in my agility. So, I mean, it really just seems like everything needs to be put into the physical stats, and then the lowest thing in charisma.
Should I just go down like this?
Yeah, I think so.
Ding, ding. Okay.
Wow, that's kind of satisfying, actually.
Right?
Yeah. So we'll start from the bottom for charisma then.
Yep.
Maybe then. What do you think? Wisdom or intelligence?
I would say wisdom would be higher than intelligence. Okay. I don't know. Does that feel right for Chad?
I think so.
Right for Chad.
Yeah. Because I feel like, I like that. That feels pretty good.
He's got those street smarts from his days playing hammerball.
Yeah.
Well, it does. I mean, it takes wisdom to be able to take one sort of game and apply the
Right. The tactics.
To another game. Tactics.
So I like to think of this first level 5e character of Chahd as like when he first started playing Hammerball before he became the captain of the team, right? You know, it's like level 3, he's the captain of the team and he's moving on, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
but this he's just starting out in his career.
What did you pick for your background?
Okay, so I went back and forth between entertainer. Ultimately landed on soldier because it made sense with like the seasoned commander flavor that the warlord has. You know, military rank and tactics and stuff, and it gave me perception, which compared to the awareness. What am I blanking on? What is that called when you're proficient in it?
Proficient, yes.
Proficient, yeah. And you get a game set. I didn't pick one because I was like, it's got to be Hammerball.
It's Hammerball.
Of course.
Yeah. Then you have to dip into the homebrew section of D&D Beyond, which is, I'm glad, but that ain't easy.
No,
pretty.
Yeah, that ain't easy.
It ain't easy. It ain't pretty.
Maybe they'll make it easy. Yeah, maybe they'll make it easier. But yeah, of course, gaming set. Of course, yeah. Nice. Anything else?
Let's see that final. What does it look like?
Oh yeah.
Let's look. What?
Yeah.
What does it look like?
What does it look like?
Yeah. 12. Oh, no, I didn't.
Hit. What's my AC? AC is 12. Okay, so I didn't add armor. That was one thing I forgot.
Right.
Which would be a big factor of Chahd.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So, but you know, some heavy armor would get that up to
to the 17.
Yeah, I would get up there.
Get on up there.
That's easy enough.
Yeah.
There's Chahd.
That looks right. That feels good.
Yeah.
Hit points.
You ready to get killed by some raccoons?
Yeah. Ready. Right.
Well, what did you pick then to get it? I'm curious. What did you pick to go from this level 1 kind of vanilla fighter to as close to Warlord as you could for level 3? What were the things that you upgraded?
Yeah. So the big the biggest thing I found to kind of get direct 1-to-1 to Warlord was the subclass Battle Master subclass where you could literally choose techniques. So, you know, just kind of pulling some of those that are almost, some of them are almost 1-to-1. Commander's Call.
Oh, I can't edit this. That's why. Sorry.
Gives you more flavor. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you can see it.
We can see it.
Yeah. The stats are wrong, but
yeah.
So on at third level with the Battle Master, you get to choose 3 techniques, I believe it is. And so I chose Bait and Switch, which would be kind of the replacement for that Rush ability. That was kind of the closest I could find where you switch places with somebody and you roll a superiority die. That's kind of the big Battle Master thing, is superiority die to you can add that to your AC or the creature you switch places with. So rather than healing, it's kind of just providing a buff in that way. Heroic Taunt, and I think we mentioned this in the actual play, is almost 1-to-1 with goading attack that the Battle Master can do. Which, you know, if you watch Critical Role, Orem does quite effectively, where you impose disadvantage on creatures, you know, all attacks on everyone except you, which I believe Toby had that kind of ability as well.
Yeah, I think it's actually available. Those maneuvers are available to any martial.
Yes. Yeah. So that was the technique. That was like a martial technique that I picked because I got one at the start. So that was the 1-to-1 there. And then Commander's Call, obviously the juiciest bit of the Warlord. The closest I could find was Commander's Strike.
Yeah.
So it allows it. I don't know. It definitely costs more Like more of your action economy goes into it, and the other player has to use like their reaction to be able to attack. And you can only attack. Attacking is the only option. It's not, with Commander's Call, you can attack, you can dodge, you can move. So it gives you a lot more versatility that way. But like I said, you're going all the way to level 3 before you're even approaching that kind of Commander's Call.
Yeah. And you're, at this point as a GM, I would have to, because your hit points are far more, so the monsters would look different. There's a lot of, your armor class would probably be close to 18 or more at that point. And so that is a pretty big difference. And that's one of the things that when we first played DC20, we were like, well, that's really nice, right? To just get in the game and have a ton of stuff you can do, a ton of stuff that you can access. I mean, yes, I'm excited for everybody to get to level 2, but we could also play, for another few months at level 1.
It's something y'all have said over and over. It's things I've heard in the community as a whole is just the engagement level of these, from level 1, the engagement is so high because there's so much more you can do and in interacting with each other as well.
Yes. Yeah. Great work, Seth.
Great work.
It was fun.
Good Lord.
I think this is a good way to show that you really need to be level 3 in D&D to start getting any sort of flavor. But I would argue, to bounce off what you were saying, in DC20, I would personally prefer to stay level 1 for a while, just because there's so much. I don't have it all internalized yet.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yes. Like parrying.
Yes, yeah. I know.
We already discussed.
Yes.
Parry.
Yeah, I feel like I'm never going to live that down.
Let me get a handle on parrying first.
Hold up.
We should just say, we need a shirt that just said, I didn't parry, so I perished.
I perished.
However, I would like, we've talked about this a number of times now, we really want to, especially if y'all in the chat and watching this like this kind of thing, because we certainly do. We might do it anyway, but we would love it if you liked it as well. We really want to become encyclopedias of multiple RPGs in a similar fantasy world. How do they bleed in? How do they bleed out? And so I think the step coming soon would then be to go down more of a Shadow Dark, OSR, DCC, Dungeon Crawl Classics, that route where you're supposed to die. You're supposed to.
Yes.
You cannot get too excited. So, but it is really interesting because DC20 characters first level, they are superheroes. No, there's no denying that. I think Alan would say, that's they're not just starting out as much. They've already seen some stuff. So I love that you added that Seth to the background too.
You can call me Chad.
You can call me Chad. You can call me.
Just so you know, the H is silent though.
Okay. Thank you for reminding me. But yeah, I think that the 5e at least has that kind of like danger at first level, the squishiness.
Definitely.
Yeah.
We were in quite a precarious with Mortal Bane's monsters.
Chunky fellas.
We were playing on expert level. We recognized. We recognized.
And paid the price.
Yeah.
Mortal Bane, I hope that if you have seen us in any video recently blaming you for everyone's death, that you took it with with humor and fun. And
a hearty thank you, because there's really nothing I love more than having a dead character.
You gave us a challenge. You made Evan happy. It was great.
He takes it all. I love it. Yeah.
Amazing.
Okay. Do we have time for Toby?
Yeah, we gotta see. Well, let's just blast through Toby and Reddit. Yeah,
right.
we got it.
I think of all of them, it's going to be the easiest.
Yeah.
There's a features that I didn't even really bother to look up because I know that level 1 there's nothing like it. But it is pretty. A ranger is a ranger, kind of. I mean, I know that's not true for DC20 necessarily, but the fun part here was that there actually is in DC20 there is no bugbear as a playable class. Coach had to kind of beastborn and make it up.
You mean raw, like super raw style? Because I think there are some bugbears that you can play now in
5e.
Yeah.
So in DC20 there wasn't.
Oh, I'm sorry. I misunderstood.
Alan just had to make it up.
Yeah.
But the nice thing in 5e, you can. There's actually 2 different bugbears. There's like there's a new version and an old version. I picked the new version because it seemed like it was meant for more PCs.
Yeah.
And it had a lot of the same things, like long-limbed.
Okay.
Yeah, long-limbed,
Fun.
powerful builds, sneaky surprise attack. Yeah, and click into the surprise attack. What does that do? If you hit a creature with an attack roll. Yeah, so I didn't get that, but the DC20 version of it was I always got advantage on my first attack in a combat encounter. Dark vision, Fey ancestry. These are just things that are baked into it. So these weren't things that I chose. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Class ranger, obviously favorite enemy. It chose all the same things. Nothing too surprising there. Ability scores, so we can point by or standard array that. And
sorry, I love Mike's comment. You have to throw that up real quick.
Okay, wait, where is it? Toby ports over easy.
Amazing. And you get inspiration. Good work, Mike. Not only nothing brings me, the only thing that brings me greater joy than a character dying is laughing about a character who's already dead. I love it.
Oh, we're some guys.
So I mean, we've already kind of gone through the point by thing. I don't even know that we need to do that. I could just point out. I picked out. I guess I'd go over to description.
Yep.
You can see the background was folk hero seemed to kind of be the most one-to-one.
Sure.
And that was it. It was pretty. It wasn't not a lot of fuss here
until you got into spells, though, right?
And spells, yeah. Well, you don't get any spells at level 1. So
right.
as you advance, then you do have to deal with you get Hunter's Mark at level 1 in DC20. Don't have it here yet.
Right.
And when you do have it, it's a spell. It's not a feature. It's not a feat, a physical thing. Yeah. So there's that. Yeah. There's some stuff like that. And then there was one maneuver that I had that was specific to Rangers that I got to use in this part 2 called Volley, where you can hit more than one person at once, which was really cool. Of course, nothing like that. And I didn't go looking far and wide to solve that problem. I just said, oh yeah, it's 5e, so it's not going to be as good.
It's not going to be as powerful for sure. Yeah.
So it's going to be wimpier, and that's I'm just like I'll take it. Yeah. So,
and I mean, one thing to call out here, I think the big difference between the DC20 and the 5e version of Ranger is that in 5e it's a half caster, and in DC20 it's a full blown martial.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I know that I prefer. We mentioned Hunter's Mark being a spell, but in DC20 it's a martial feature, and that's how a lot of those other things are baked in, are based on how the ranger exists in their environment versus having a magical connection in some way.
Yeah, I mean in 5e it's just a little too close to being a druid for me with rangers. And I know that it's ultimately just kind of flavor because the mechanics with Hunter's Mark are similar. So it's in some ways more of a flavor thing, but I like the flavor. I like a martial flavor.
You like flavor.
Well, before we move on from Tobias, though, I am curious if you just want, even if it's not ultimately what you're going to stick with, I am curious of how you're going to, what numbers you're going to choose where. Do you have an idea? I mean, if you have no clue, then we don't have to. But
I was thinking in this version it was going to be 18, 18, 18, 18, 18.
Oh, yeah. I love that. I love that journey for you. I'm very proud.
I mean, I'm just trying to learn from my past mistakes here.
You want to go easy? You want to go easy, Viv?
If he had.
But you don't have to. I'm just curious.
I'm just gonna do it real quick. Standard array.
So intelligence will be his biggest.
Oh, intelligence bigger.
Oh,
okay. Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. Let me go back to that. Intelligence 15, and then Dex probably.
And then Dex will be the next. And then Charisma will be the dump.
Let's do that.
Might is kind of just right up the middle.
Yeah.
So this is where, it's a little.
He's pretty balanced. Yeah, I see what you're saying. It's a little tough.
He's skinny.
It is
for a bugbear. He's not super strong.
All right, then let's give him con of 10. Let's do 12, and two. Yeah, because these scores are because
they're highest. Yeah,
they're kind of more together. Let's do that. Fun.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Final product. Ding 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 ding.
Ta-da!
Yeah. That's a playable character.
Yeah, I don't know if I did give myself leather armor. I don't know if it's checked in yet, so his armor class would probably be a little touch higher.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say, look, you got the same one as well, but
that's
maybe
funny.
not with your
expand it out, and I think you can. It should be in his inventory, so if you just activate it, then his armor class should go up.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
I see.
there it is.
Okay. So
Oh yeah, 11 plus Dex.
Yeah, so a little bit better. I mean, you could. Yeah, hit points. 10. So he actually did better in DC20 with hit points. He's going to die even faster.
Right. Mortal Bane does make a good observation, actually.
I wanted to show this one. Yeah. It's easier to make a fighter conversion for TC's Ranger as well, which is the path that Seth had to take, kind of. But I could see that too. You could really go full bow. Martial bow.
A lot of people, I think, like to do that with a Ranger, that you could be a ranged, focused fighter and be a more effective ranged combatant than an actual Ranger. You've got more stuff. And I think the next time I actually play a Ranger in 5e, whenever that might be, I'm going to try that, because that's definitely going to be the closest, much closer than this.
It's definitely the martial
so what you're
approach.
saying, Mortal Bane is basically just saying that I did this wrong, and I should have done. Now I'm realizing I absolutely should have done that and put more thought into it, and they've called me out as being the lazy person that I am.
Or Mortal Bane has just given you and the other viewers another option.
There we go.
There are multiple paths.
Okay.
Multiple pathways.
Yes.
Amazing.
Okay. All right. I like that.
There you go,
I like all
guys.
that. But, and then is that? Did we do Robot though?
Oh, we didn't.
We didn't.
R0.
We can slam through Robot real quick if we want to.
Let's just take a quick look.
Take a quick.
Thanks for hanging in, everybody.
I want to see.
Thanks for being there. Yeah, this will be.
Robot is underwhelming.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah. Spoiler alert.
You're just gonna say.
I'm just gonna say Robot is underwhelming. The only way to get Robot to be able to do the shoving, because I mean that was sort of her go-to, is to just slam her trash can body into other people. And the only way I'll be able to do that is once we get to level 4. I gotta take the Charger feat. That's the way that she's gonna have to be flavored.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. But yeah, I didn't really.
Didn't mess with any of that. Yeah.
Didn't mess with any of that. I might look into it later, but
wait, what is it? What is your race? Oh yeah,
I chose Warforged.
Yeah.
Which was very close. Very close.
Sure.
I tinkered. I did the optional manager just to switch it from Constitution to
in this, sorry. Yeah.
To Intelligence, because we play our robots a little bit more computing based. So I did that. And then I got a language, which I didn't get in DC20. So I picked Primordial, thinking that maybe Benni, who spoke Primordial, would have taught me.
Sure.
For my background, I picked Urchin, which kind of makes sense, and it gave me basically everything I needed. I was able to get
City Secrets.
Sleight of hand.
sleight of hand. I got my disguise tools, my thieves tools.
Wow.
Something, I can't remember what I picked. It might have been my race. Something gave me proficiency, and I chose water vehicles because duh. As far as it came to like proficiencies and tools and trades, I was almost able to get that exactly as it was in DC20, which was wonderful. What didn't come over, what didn't translate was I couldn't get my whip. So I just have a bunch of darts. I got a bunch of bolts to throw at people.
No whip.
Couldn't get a whip.
Because monks aren't allowed, right?
Yeah. And then I'm not really gonna be able to do the slam my body on the floor.
Darts will be fun though.
Darts will be fun. Yeah.
Little
I'm just gonna have to do more.
openings.
Yeah. I'm just gonna have to punch people. I'll flavor it differently, but I'm gonna have to be doing unarmed strikes instead of rolling into things.
Yeah.
Listen,
That's the big
punching and kicking, classic moves. Man.
Classic.
Punching
Classic.
and kicking.
Classic.
Everyone loves
kissing,
it.
and
Everyone,
hugging
yeah.
and
Ooh,
loving.
look at your fancy sheet, though.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Nice.
yeah. So how did you
Like dark
and oh wait, did you do
I
your
didn't choose my
stats?
numbers, so we can
Okay.
choose my numbers real quick.
Let's do that real quick.
Let's do that. Let's see. I'm gonna
'Cause
go
that's
point by
kind of
because
fun.
I can't with
Okay.
an odd number if I can avoid it.
I understand.
Yeah.
And we love you for it. Okay, so we've got
Agility's got to be number
Agility.
1.
Okay. What you want?
15
Mm-hmm.
out the gate. Next is intelligence. I think intelligence is gonna have to be the next big boy.
Okay.
I'm gonna go 14.
And
then I think, let's see, charisma is my dump stat. Keep that an 8.
Okay.
I think constitution should be higher than strength because people put nasty stuff in the trash. I got to be able to survive that. So let's make, let's see.
10 and 11 maybe?
Let's do let's do 12 in constitution.
Okay. I've never done point by the way. I don't think I've
Let's do strength. Let's see, I have 6 points left. I tell you what, give me do it 10 in strength.
ever done it.
Survey says.
How many points? I got 5 points left.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Actually, you know what? I do slam into things a lot. So maybe strength should be 12 too.
Okay.
Hmm.
Strength is 12, so you got 3 left. I think similar to Toby.
Yeah.
You could put them all in there.
Oh, I hate having
I don't know what else to do.
It's
You could
okay.
Okay.
You could
do
then I
that.
got one left.
Uh-oh.
I like 9 better than I like 11. 9 is one of my 9 is my lucky number, so we'll stick with that.
Good number. A good number.
Nice.
Solid.
Yeah.
You're the best. Okay.
There it is.
So there it is. Looking pretty sweet. Armor.
Solid.
Wow, that's again the same. That's pretty interesting.
That is pretty
y'all.
interesting.
This is why we wanted to do this, because it's interesting.
Yeah.
Hit points 8 and 9.
I am curious to find out next week, because next week we're playing these guys against Mutants of
Yes.
Rage.
Yes.
Mhm.
What I am most curious to see by Jax is how our playbooks are going to change.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm going to bring us back to exactly.
I mean, I know what I'll be doing.
What
Stab
gonna
once.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go. Yeah. So for those of you who were unsure as why we just spent 30-40 minutes doing that, is that we are going to take all of these 5e characters, and my job is to create the metal band called Mutants of Rage, the Beastborn mutant. I guess in 5e they really would have to be mutant raccoons, right? Sentient mutant raccoons. Yeah.
Mhm.
And so these characters will be fighting them in a kind of a death match.
Yeah. And this time, we're going to win.
At this time.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Wait, we won.
Yeah,
We
that's
already
fun
won.
though. That's really fun. I really
Can't
I
wait.
think that's fun. It's going to be
Yeah.
hard. It really is going to be. It's
Yeah.
going to be challenging, and I think I don't think it's going to be this versus as much. I would. I mean, it will be, of course. We can't help it because once you've played with these characters with the amount of power that you get at first level with DC20, it is going to be quite an adjustment. But we'll try to make it interesting, right?
We're gonna try. I'm not gonna say
No promises.
no promises.
No takebacks.
Yeah, no takebacks.
It has already been advertised as very boring.
That's true. We have been disclaimering. We're like, look, 5e, it's level 1. I don't know what to tell you.
Boring.
Step right on up.
Come on
Yeah,
down.
Yeah. The
right.
poll
I
for
have
this
faith,
week. The poll for this week won't be who's going to die. It's going to be TPK
Who's
or
going
not.
to be awake? at the
It's
end?
going to be
Who's
we
gonna be
need 2
awake at the
polls. Y'all keep an eye out. I'm gonna have 2 polls going this week. First of all, do we TPK? Second of all, who checks out first?
Right.
Just like
Mm.
who checks their
Facebook.
phone or their
Yeah.
email first?
Yeah.
Oh! I thought you. Okay, I got you. Who gets bored?
Who gets bored
Yeah.
first?
Yeah.
Like,
okay.
oh, I stabbed them once. That's my
Yeah.
turn.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dang.
Cool.
Dang. I love it. I
I'm
love
going to
it.
share my screen while we do it, so you guys can just see what I'm searching.
We
Yes,
need to put the
yes.
parental locks on our devices.
Yeah.
We'll have an alternate link.
That's a good idea, actually.
It is not a bad idea.
Parentally
If you're
lock
bored with
myself
this
out of my
stream.
own. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Well, you guys, we'll see you next week. You will
Yeah.
pay for the whole seat, and you'll only use the edge and also the rest of your seat. Seth, thank you so much for joining us once again, and we'll get to see you
Always
next
a
week as well.
Fantastic
Wow.
freaking pleasure.
Fitz, you have some parting words for us?
I do. So thank you again, Seth. Thanks to AK for letting us take control of her character while she's not here, and safe travels to you. Also, thank you one more time to Cassie for providing the character art that you saw in our little thumbnails on D&D Beyond. Without this community,
Yes.
we wouldn't be able to have the fun that we do. So join us in our Discord. It's free.
Please.
If you like what we do, you can join us. We do monthly one-shots with our patrons, so feel free to join our Patreon. It's cheap.
It's cheap. Yeah.
If you want to play with us. And then also, Evan has some very fun nerd shirt designs, and I think we're gonna have to have a Mutants of Rage at some point. So
Oh, man.
some more to come as well
Mm-hmm.
on that
Because
one.
I have to come up with names beyond Johnny Trash.
Beyond John. Yeah, I know. We need to
Johnny
have
Trash.
I've got some work.
we gotta come
Robert
up
Trash.
with
JT.
Yeah, will y'all in
Dee Dee.
will the Discord help me come up with some names for the
Mm-hmm.
members?
It's just like the Ramones. Johnny, Dee Dee, Marky. Who was the other one?
PP.
Marky,
PP?
PP,
PP.
Toto,
PP Trash.
Toto,
Toto Trash. There you go. Yeah,
There we go.
done.
Wow.
I love it. That's going to be really fun. That's
Love
going to be
it.
really fun. And also, yeah, in the Discord, let's discuss like where is this combat going to happen? Where is this battle royale happening? Let's come up with a fun thing. If anybody knows like some cool maps and stuff, we don't have to tell the 3 of them, but we can all work on it together. Shh, don't tell. That'd be really fun.
I will try not to peak before Christmas, but I can't guarantee.
Yeah, I know. It's fine.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right, guys.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. Thanks for being here, everybody. It's really cool. And we'll see you next week, same time, same channel.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right.
Cha 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 cha.